We're here with Joe Cole. Thanks for coming, mate.
No worries, always a pleasure.
The last time we saw each other, I think it was in Istanbul on the boat. I think you'd just come from Prague after West Ham won the Europa Conference League. Yeah, you were a bit hungover that day, weren't you?
That was a very wild few days. That was a very, let's just say, the flight over from Prague to Istanbul was very, very difficult for me. I partied, me and Carlton Cole partied with the West Ham fans until 5:30, 6 in the morning. I think our flight left at 8, and me, stupidly, thought, I get an hour's sleep before the flight, which was a bad decision. I should have gone straight the way through. But yeah, it was a very good night and a good few days in Istanbul.
Amazing. Yeah, I think you West Ham guys, it's special memories for you, of course.
Yeah.
So, Premier League. Liverpool are still top of the table. They're on fantastic form. What's key to their success this season?
We looked at Liverpool and you're thinking, what do they do differently from Jurgen Klopp? And I've come with two things I think are massive. I think Arne Slot is more possession-based football. So I think he sort of took in the sort of they have to run less without the ball because they're holding onto the ball a little bit more, which is allowing Diaz, Salah, Jota, Gakpo, whoever's playing, to have a little bit more power in their legs. Because the other guys can hold the ball. You see a little bit more of that. So I've seen sometimes when you used to see Van Dijk maybe ping a ball, he'll hold on to it, go back, take another pass. And so they have the forward players look like they're fresh, which is one thing. And I think the whole team, looks like there's more energy in their legs. So whether the training loads have come off and is suiting that team, but it's all down to Arne Slot. Nobody expected it. I didn't think that it would be as smooth as it is, but they are the best team in Europe at the moment. Favourites for the Premier League, favourites for the Champions League, and you have to just give the credit to the main man, Arne Slot.
So last weekend, the biggest result was, of course, Arsenal v Man City. They thrashed them 5-1. And it's one game in isolation, but looking towards the end of the season, that result, does that impact who wins?
Absolutely. It's a massive result. I know Man City have fallen off, but Arsenal they still look at Man City as their rivals. I know Liverpool have jumped above it. So it's a massive statement. Manchester City off the ball this year have been two things have happened. The press hasn't been as suffocating and not been as good. And on transitions, without Rodri and Kyle Walker for large parts of the season, they look a different team. I know Ake's been out for a time. They've missed players. But they haven't dealt with that. And Arsenal just exposed them there. Arsenal can play for the Lions. Any team playing against Manchester City now has seen weakness and they can feel that they can. So teams, it's going to be so tough for them to get that invincibility back, but they need to start. If I'm Pep, I'm concentrating off the ball, pressing, organisation behind the ball. I'm sure he is, but it's going to be a very difficult few months for Manchester City fans.
Everton. Yeah. They've won their last 3 games. David Moyes is back in the fold. He seems to have changed things at the club. Yeah. Do you think they're going to keep going up the table?
I think they'll be fine. I think first of all, I think Sean Dyche done a great job at Everton. Football's a crazy game, but David Moyes was available. The owners would have looked at it and think, we can get a bounce from having a new manager. But when David Moyes left West Ham, I was gutted. West Ham fans didn't like the style of play, but I am from the outside looking at him as a manager in the peak of his powers, and he goes into a club and he can establish a way to play, establish a mindset. He knows players. He looked so comfortable at West Ham when I spoke to him, in himself, and he's in the middle of a a managerial career, and he's better than the manager that went into Manchester United. He understands the game. So he will keep, in my opinion, keep Everton up, and then they will go into that new stadium, money invested, and for Everton fans out there, they must be just feeling so relaxed now. They know that he's just so calm, David Moyes, brilliant manager.